Hi, my name's Al, and this is a short video on a workbench I built for my garage. The bench is about 8 foot 6 inches wide, 26 inches deep. It has a tool tray. The top is made out of birch. I would have preferred maple, but I didn't have maple. What I did have is some 2-inch birch that's been sitting in my wood pile for 20 some years waiting to become something, and this was it. And I have a piece of 8-inch stainless steel inlaid right in the center. I do have a nice woodworking workbench in my wood shop, but this is more for general garage use. Now, before I started this, the first thing I did was a tool rack, and this video is not really about the tool rack, but I'll show you that. That was fun. It was a lot more fun than building the bench. The top is about 3 inches thick in the center. It's a little thicker on the edges. The bottom is made mostly of MDO plywood. The sides are 2 pieces thick, so it's 1.5 inches. The center is 1.5 inches, and the bottom's 2 pieces, so that's 1.5 inches. The back is a 1/2 inch piece of MDO plywood. The drawers are all 3/4 inch MDO plywood with a 1/2 inch bottom and 150-pound drawer slides. I wanted to have a drawer deep enough to store cans and larger items, so I put these center drawers in, and they're handy. I debated having pull-out shelves, and I'm glad I put them on there. Where they come in handy is when you have to work on something small, and this allows you to sit down and be at a more comfortable height for working on something small. They're not heavy duty. You're not going to put an engine block on it, but it's good if you need to assemble something small. A couple of the drawers have dividers. I find that I'm always needing a nut or a bolt, and this keeps them organized for me. I have 2 vices on this bench. There's a quick release vise here that I've recessed so it's flat with the face of the bench. And there's another vise on this end for clamping longer items. But I have a metal vise, and I didn't want to have the metal vise mounted permanently on top of the bench where it'd be in the way when I'm working on large items. So this is what I came up with. On the top, I made pop-up bench dogs. There's videos on the internet on how to make those. They're basically made out of a drawer catch, a spring-loaded drawer catch. Mine have a copper sleeve on the outside to help them last a little longer. And they just pop in and pop up when needed. On top of the bench, I used these plumbing flanges, and they're mounted right side up underneath the bench. So when you take the bench dog out, you can screw in pipe clamp. And this allows you to clamp things right to the top of the bench. The clamps you're looking for this purpose are the ones with the clutching mechanism on both ends of the clamp. And when you buy them, they come with this handle, which you have to knock off, drill a hole, and put a sliding T-handle in. And then you have to drill a hole just a little larger than the pipe in the back end of the vise end of the bench, or the vise end of the clamp. On the front of the bench, I have a number of flanges. These ones are 3/4. The top is 1/2 inch. 1/2-inch flanges on the top and 3/4-inch pipe flanges on the side. And the outside flange has been drilled out to allow 3/4-inch pipe to slide right through. And then about 4 inches in, mounted between the boards on the bench, is a 3/4-inch pipe flange. And that allows you to screw in a pipe clamp to the face of the bench. Because I have the Woodshop and I frequently use this area for gluing things up, I can also use longer pipe clamps on the face of the bench, and I can use the front of the bench to glue boards together or to work on a longer piece or wider piece of material on top of the bench. So I put the bench on wheels. I don't move it that often, but when I need to move it, I'm usually doing it alone, so I wanted to have wheels, and I modified them. In conclusion, I hope this video gave you some ideas on what you can do with a bench, and I hope you find it useful.